Coming up on Mountain News this morning, as hunters go out into the woods to bag their next prize, it's important to practice gun safety in and out of the home. And the heartwarming photo of a father and son at the Blue-White game in Pikeville goes viral without the father even knowing about it.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
6:32 here in Dakota Macris. It's Tuesday. I feel like it should be much later in the week, but it's not. It's just Tuesday. And I have decided, Brandon, I'm no longer commenting on if it's hot or cold outside this morning, because either way, I get told I'm wrong. So I'm just not going to...
You could be right.
No,
I mean,
no. Well,
some spots are warmer, some spots are colder.
Well, this morning to me it was cold, but then you're like, it's not cold. So
I didn't say that.
Oh, wait. But regardless, no, because I said, it was cold, and you're like, no, some places are in the 60s.
Some places were in the 60s.
Makes no sense to me.
It is cooler here in Hazard, and it was cooler at my house when I left.
Thank you for that breakdown.
Exactly. So I'll show you some temperatures here in a second. That'll help you with, put it in plain sight for you.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's take a look at Whitesburg this morning downtown there. As we take a look, and you see pretty quiet, not too much going on down that way this morning. We're going to continue to watch the quiet conditions. We'll see people start moving around here pretty soon. So basically, here's your range: 37 in Jonesville to 58 now in Jackson. So a pretty good swing there in just a couple of different counties. So again, the further north you are, the more likely you are to be warmer. Further south you are, especially in some of those sheltered valleys, more likely you are to be in the 30s. But you see that warm air surging in ahead of that cold front. 71 Memphis, 60 in Louisville, 65 in Nashville, but 45 in Charlotte, Knoxville, Hazard, 43 in Roanoke. So on the other side of this front, still a bit chilly out there across parts of the region. So that's why I said, depending on where you are, you could be a little warmer, a little colder. Your breakfast forecast, we're going to try to shoot the moon here and try to split the difference. 48 by 7 o'clock, and then we'll start to rebound a little bit as we see some early sunshine before things start to cloud up this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. A death in Pikeville has students and community members remembering a life gone too soon. After 7-year-old Andrew Allen came down with a sudden sickness last week, our buddy Forbes shares his story.
He made a difference in this world.
Andrew Allen always had a smile, carving out the biggest impact in the smallest ways.
Sometimes I think we call these things little. I think Andrew was really good at the things that we sometimes call little that are just so giant.
With his laughter and love, the 7-year-old poured his silly soul into everything he did, touching more lives than he ever knew.
He was just such a great kid and brought a lot of light to our hallways and to our classrooms.
The Pikeville boy died suddenly Saturday, leaving his family, friends, and community in shock, left to share his smile through stories.
He might not be here with us today, but we won't forget him.
A school full of students stepping into the week without him, but taking time to remember everything he left behind.
One of our kids who was working through one of their activities just simply drew his face with a smile. Because that's what it meant. That's what he meant to kids. A happy kid with a big old smile that handed it out to people.
With compassion, imagination, and character far beyond his years.
We are going to keep him close in our hearts and celebrate his life and use what he did to promote the kindness in our school.
Those who love him say his death is not the end.
And we're going to take that love and we're going to use that love to help every day help this place, help our kids find this place to be better and to be more like home for them.
And he will always be remembered far beyond the halls. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The school is planning some special ways to memorialize Andrew, saying he will always be a part of Pikeville Elementary. A Buchanan County, Virginia man faces a first-degree murder charge. Police say he shot and killed his girlfriend, who is 7 months pregnant. Dustin Owens of Van Sant is accused of shooting Amber Compton multiple times. Her body was found in her home on Sunset Hollow Road by police Saturday night after she was reported missing. Owens was arrested after statements and evidence led investigators to his home.
We're still working the timeline, and at this time I'm not going to release how long we think that she might have been there, but we're still working the timeline as to her events in the days before that.
The Buchanan County Sheriff's Office says Owens was arrested without incident. He is being held without bond at Southwest Virginia Regional Jail's Hayside facility. Back here in Kentucky, Moorhead police are looking for a man they say sexually assaulted a woman. Well, they say it happened early Sunday morning in the eastern part of Moorhead. Police Chief Derek Blevins says it is a case of special interest to his department because they believe it was a random attack. Blevins says the victim is not a student at Moorhead State and was taken to a hospital for treatment. He says the perpetrator is about 6 feet tall with a little bit of facial hair, and he was wearing a blue shirt and baseball cap with boots on.
That's, something that, doesn't really, happen around here a whole lot. So it's definitely a concern for the community. We just want people to be vigilant, until we can locate him.
While this incident did not directly impact Moorhead State University, officials did issue a statement saying they appreciated the quick response from the city. Hunting season is underway for some, and more will be in the woods in the next few weeks. And that means it is a great time to make sure your kids are aware of extra precautions, not only while hunting, but at home too. One official from Kentucky Fish and Wildlife shares some tips about how you and your kids can stay safe around guns.
You don't want to leave loaded firearms around the house, but you also need to teach your children, if they do go to a friend's house or something where they may not abide by the same rules, if they see a loaded gun or they see any type of gun, they need to let you know immediately and leave it alone.
Officials recommend adults leave their guns unloaded in a gun safe and make sure the ammunition is placed in a safe location separate from the gun. A heartwarming photo of a father and son at this weekend's Kentucky Blue and White game in Pikeville has gone viral. I'm sure you've seen it. We all have. The man had come straight from working in a coal mine to be at the game. Coach John Calipari shared the photo on social media on Monday, hoping to connect the family and offer them VIP tickets to a game this season. Michael McGuire is the coal miner. He's with his son Easton in this photo. Chad Hedrick talked with the family, who is overwhelmed with support.
For many families, it's more than just a basketball game. It's about making memories that will last a lifetime.
I was just really excited to make all these memories with my kids and my wife.
Kentucky's Blue and White game in Pikeville Saturday gave Michael McGuire that opportunity. While most of the fans were in their Kentucky Blue, Michael was in his work clothes and covered in coal dust, having gone from the coal mines straight to the game to be with his family.
It was pretty much either come straight there or miss half the game going home to take a shower and everything.
Michael wanted to be there as his son Easton experienced his first Kentucky basketball game and take in every moment.
Oh, he had a blast. He was dancing, and every time they would slam dunk it, he would go crazy.
You can see the McGuires several times during the game's broadcast, but it was this picture taken by Troy Lee Thomas that caught the attention of Kentucky men's basketball coach John Calipari, who shared it on social media looking to identify McGuire and offer VIP tickets to a game this season. The photo went viral while Michael was underground working.
When I got out and got service on my way home, it went crazy. Couldn't believe that it was real.
For Michael, he's overwhelmed and humbled by the way Big Blue Nation rallied to find him, and little Easton is loving it.
He's jumping up and down. He's very excited.
Michael talked to Coach Cal Monday evening.
It was awesome. He's really down to earth.
It'll be Easton's first game at Rupp Arena and just the second for Michael, giving this lifelong Kentucky fan another special memory with his family.
It's mind-blowing that everybody come together like that.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. Michael says he had to miss family events because of work, and this moment really makes it worth it. His wife says she is so thankful Michael was able to see so much support and appreciation for what he does for his family. The McGuires haven't picked a game that they'll go to yet, but we're told they'll get VIP access to whichever one they choose. Congratulations to them. An upcoming show at the Appalachian Center for the Arts will pay tribute to Miss Loretta Lynn, thanks to voice of someone who shares her butcher holler blood. Trey Twitty and Taylor Lynn are hitting the App stage next weekend as the duo pays tribute to their grandparents, Conway and Loretta. The Country Music Memorial was a hit last year, giving the Conway and Loretta hits new life. But this year's show will be a little bit different, honoring Loretta 1 month after her death.
And I think it's just going to be a good celebration. They're very excited to be here. They said it's the closest that they're going to get to Butcher Holler for a little bit. And so I think it's just going to be very special for Taylor and for everybody involved.
Well, the opening act, Connor and Rachel Dell, will be performing some of Loretta's favorite gospel songs. The show is set for November 5th at 3 p.m. with a limited number of tickets still available at the app.
Coming up on 6:43, and we're tracking some clouds across the area on the satellite radar loop. The daylight should start showing up here pretty soon, and we see the rain back off to the west. Cold front out toward parts of I-57 out in Illinois, back over toward I-69 down toward West Kentucky, and then eventually we'll cross over I-65 heading toward us a little bit later today. Temperatures across the region, again, 30s, 40s, 50s, even close to 60 in some spots. Our hot spot now at Jackson once again, 58, 62 in Lexington, 60 in Louisville, but 37 in Jonesville this morning, 39 in Manchester, Clintwood, and Middlesboro as you head out the door. Speaking of the out the door forecast, trying to split the difference there, right around 48 by 7 o'clock, and then we'll head into the upper 70s today as those clouds increase, along with those rain chances later tonight. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. The time is 6:43, still to come here on Mountain News this morning. If you're worried about video games affecting how your child develops, a new study shows you might have less reason to worry. That's on the way next.